Hey there and welcome. Have you ever felt like you and the kids in your life are speaking completely different languages? Trust me, you are not alone. But here's the good news. Learning how to really communicate with them isn't some big secret. It's actually a skill, and it all boils down to understanding where they are in their own development. So let's jump in and figure out how to do that, one age at a time.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the core idea that one size just doesn't fit all when it comes to communication. Then we'll break down how to talk with preschoolers, then school-age kids, and of course, teenagers. And to wrap it all up, we'll look at some really cool creative tools that can help bridge any communication gap.
All right, let's start with our foundation. The main idea here is super simple, but incredibly powerful. You just can't talk to a 3-year-old the same way you talk to a 13-year-old. I know, it sounds obvious, right? But really, getting this down is the absolute key to unlocking genuine communication.
I just love this quote from the author of The Little Prince. It just nails that feeling of frustration kids must have. They see the world in such a different way, and sometimes we grown-ups, well, we just don't get it. This whole explainer is about learning to see things a little more from their point of view.
Okay, so why is it so tough sometimes? It's because a kid's brain is literally wired differently depending on their age. They are not just miniature adults. The way they process information, feelings, and even the concept of time can be completely alien to us. Getting that, well, that's our first big step.
Let's dive into our first age group, the little ones, from about 2 to 5. You have to understand, for them, their entire universe is whatever is happening right here, right now. And that one simple fact changes absolutely everything about how we should be talking with them.
You know, for preschoolers, most of their communication happens without any words at all. Their verbal skills are just getting started, so we have to learn to see that a tantrum isn't just bad behavior, it's a message. Crying, pointing, laughing, these are their main tools for telling us what's going on. Our job is to become expert detectives at reading those signals.
Now this right here is a total game changer. Preschoolers are what we call concrete thinkers. Abstract ideas like later or what we did yesterday are super fuzzy for them. If they can't see it, touch it, or experience it in this exact moment, it might as well not exist. This is why promising we'll go to the park tomorrow can cause a total meltdown today. For them, tomorrow might as well be on another planet.
So here's the absolute key. Your response has to be immediate. If you see them share a toy, you praise them for it right then and there. If you wait 10 minutes, that connection between their action and your praise is just gone. The lesson is lost. With them, everything has to happen in the here and now.
Okay, let's move on up to the next stage. Kids from 5 to 10. All of a sudden, their language skills have just exploded. They can tell you long stories, they can make jokes, but don't let that fool you. Just because they have more words, it doesn't mean talking is suddenly a walk in the park. In fact, it brings a whole new set of challenges.
Have you ever asked a kid, "How was school?" and all you get back is, "Fine"? Well, here's why. That big, open-ended question is actually asking them to do a lot. They have to mentally scan hours of memories, pinpoint a specific feeling, and then find the right words to describe it. For their brain, that's a ton of work. It's kind of like asking us to summarize a 2-hour movie in one sentence, so they just default to the easiest possible answer.
And that's the million-dollar question for this age group, isn't it? We really want to connect with them, we want to know what's going on inside, but asking them directly just hits a brick wall. So what do? Well, we have to get a little creative.
And check this out. It's a brilliantly simple solution. Instead of putting all this pressure on them to find the words, we can use a visual tool. Just imagine showing them a chart with different feeling faces: happy, sad, angry, surprised. All they have to do is point. It's like giving them a cheat sheet for their own emotions, and it opens up a window for a real conversation.
Now, take a look at this comparison. It is such a powerful snapshot of the massive change that's right around the corner. That open, trusting 8-year-old can feel like they transform, almost overnight, into a private, self-conscious teenager. This change is completely normal, but wow, it means we need to totally shift our communication strategy again.
And just like that, we're in the teenage years. Now the rules of the game have completely changed. It's no longer about us guiding them, it's about partnership. They're trying to build their own identity, and they desperately need us to see them as the young adults they're becoming. Our conversations have to reflect that.
All of a sudden, it seems like their friends know everything and we know nothing. Sound familiar? It's totally normal. They're pulling away to figure out who they are, separate from us. And that often means the door to their room and to their inner world, starts to feel a little more closed.
So how do we keep a foot in that door? Well, it really all comes down to respect. This means treating them like a partner in a conversation, not like a suspect you're interrogating. It means bringing them into decisions that affect their own life, from curfews to future plans. And maybe the most important thing of all, it means respecting their privacy, because when they know you trust them, they are so much more likely to trust you back.
Okay, for our last section, let's check out some amazing tools that go way beyond just talking. Because sometimes the best way to start a real conversation is to, well, not start with a conversation at all.
Think about it. When you're busy doing something together, like drawing or building with blocks, the pressure to talk just vanishes. The focus is on the activity, not on each other. It's kind of like how adults sometimes have their best conversations when they're driving or doing the dishes. It creates this safe, low-pressure space where feelings can come out way more naturally.
A workbook like this is a perfect example for an older kid or a teen. It gives them some structure, a non-threatening way to think about their family, their friends, their feelings, all without the intensity of a face-to-face chat. It puts the power back in their hands, letting them express themselves on their own terms.
And for the younger kids, this is just genius. It is so much less scary to talk about how a tiger is feeling than it is to talk about how they're feeling. Using something like a puppet or an animal figure gives them a way to explore big emotions from a safe distance, which makes it so much easier for them to open up.
You know, if there's one single thing to take away from all of this, it's this. It's not about finding some magic phrase that will suddenly make a child talk. It's about understanding where they are in their development and meeting them right there, in their world, on their terms, and using their language.
So I'll leave you with this question. The next time you're faced with a tantrum, or an I don't know, or just complete silence, maybe the question isn't, why won't you talk to me? Maybe it's, what are you trying to tell me? Will you listen differently? Thanks so much for joining me.